Good, y'all? It's your man Sam Ant here at Viral Hip Hop News. Go ahead and hit that like button and make sure you hit the notification bell to get all the latest notifications every time I drop a video here on the platform. I do appreciate it. All right, so protests have been breaking out nationwide after the unfortunate murder of George Floyd, a male from Minnesota who was murdered by police on May 25th, causing absolute outrage. Just another black man who has died at the hands of the police. You have people who are absolutely fed up. Protests breaking out all around the country. We see our man JCole right here alongside NBA star Dennis Smith Jr. protesting, walking toward the Fayetteville Police Department in the name of George Floyd. George Floyd happened to be from Fayetteville, North Carolina, so it's definitely hitting home out there. Now, this isn't JCole's first time marching in the name of injustice alongside the people protesting. He was out there in 2014 when we seen the death of Michael Brown and Eric Garner. You can also see him sitting there talking to some patrons out in the crowd, in the congregation. He did not want to take pictures, only because he did not want to distract or detract from the overall message and goal, which was to talk, speak, march, protest in the name of George Floyd. You see him alongside many protesters gathering, speaking. Very, very powerful times right now. Very unfortunate times for our country. Lines have been divided, as you see. This isn't a black versus white issue. This is a black versus racist issue. This is a humanity issue. And it's good to see that people, black people, white people, Hispanic people, Asian people who disagree with the nonsense that is going on throughout our country, joining up and fighting for the cause, man. It's going to take a lot more than marching and protesting. But right now, given the times we're in 2020, at least they see us, at least they hear us, at least they're responding. Y'all leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think of JCole out here on the front line of his hometown, doing his due diligence, doing his service for the people, man. Salute to that. Also, stay tuned to the back end of this video. I will drop coverage of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast and us speaking about this very incident right here, the passing of George Floyd. Y'all stay tuned and enjoy that content. Always trying to keep it raw, real, and a cut here about Hip Hop News. Until next time, until next story, I sincerely appreciate each and every one of y'all, and I'm out of here, man. Peace.
I feel great. Oh, God, I feel great. Vic, the publicist, man, and you got me fired up, You got me fired up, man. I want to start with this restaurant in Jersey. Now, we live in New Jersey, South Jersey area. Shout out to everyone, all the listeners that are in Jersey that follow the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Yeah. Salute to y'all, man. One of those followers happens to be a good friend of mine by the name of Javon. Shout out to Javon, my dog. On his Instagram, he had this clip up of this restaurant in Towns River. I'll put it real big on the screen for y'all to check out. Raviolis, whatever that shit's called. Grill and Chill, Towns River Hub, 1850 Hooper Avenue, Towns River, New Jersey. That's out there in what county is that?
I don't even know that county. So
it's out there near Lakewood, Seaside. Yeah. All out there, right? So they had on the screen, obviously, we know what's going on with George Floyd, the cops that murdered George Floyd and everything that's going on around it.
Right.
And they had the motherfucking nerve to put this real big on their sign as you're going into Seaside, a very busy interstate, very busy crossroad. I can breathe. I obey the law. This is 45 minutes right around where we live. 45 minutes. I can breathe. I obey the law. And I'm sure they sell some great Italian dishes, mussels, clams, and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But their human decency skills aren't very fucking up to par. I'm sure it's some black folk that have spent their money in there. What do you think about this?
Man, I just think it goes to show that racism is really the biggest issue that this country has yet to really address in this country. And we sweep it under the rug. We see people, we go about our day and you don't think you're really dealing with it. But other people, are, and they look at you a certain fucking way, and you see it right here for somebody, probably could have been a cop, ex-cop, or who knows, the situation that they had. They got the balls enough to put this up in front of the world, and it's just like, whose side are you on? But we see that, and I think something has never left this country. It just continues to be swept under the rug. I mean, the history of the country, it was built on bloodshed because of racism. One group of people took another group of people over here, the problem with the rights, treated them like animals. certainly wanted to keep that superiority over them. And now it's like to the point where they're like, yo, you better obey or we'll kill you. If you don't obey the law, we'll kill you. No judge, no jury, no executioner. You're now saying that the police have the power to straight up kill you. Who's to say he wasn't obeying the law? Who that has to be determined in court. You got to give him his day in court.
Yeah.
For that, you can't let some fucking white vigilante cop determine that over some black man that he has no idea what's going on. This guy sat there with his knee on his neck. And I was reading, you told me about John Bones Jones. I was actually reading that this morning. And he said it was worse than drowning. He said he's an MMA fighter who's been doing this for years.
One of the greatest of all time.
The greatest of all time.
Definitely.
He said that chokehold that cop, Derek, whatever his last name was, had on George Floyd was worse than drowning. He deserved that because what? He had a supposed $10 counterfeit or $20 counterfeit bill. People probably get counterfeit money all the time. And that, again, you still need, even if all that happened, you still need your day in court. We can't put it in the police hands to say, all right, you ain't listening, I'm going to kill you. That's fucking crazy, man. And, boycott that fucking restaurant. If anybody that listens to us in New Jersey, Toms River area, no matter what your skin color is, stand up for what's right. Fucking boycott that place. Don't give them no fucking business.
Facts, bro. Let me go on this real quick. I used to work in a casino, right? And we used to have counterfeit shit happen all the time. Now, $10 to $15 counterfeit bill, you go and see the Division of Gaming Enforcement, which is the state police that run the casinos. They give you a citation. You have your day in court. The worst that happens with something like that. Now, $10 to $15 is fucking pennies. I've seen hundreds of thousands done. And some have went to jail. And others have been evicted and banned from all casinos in Atlantic City.
Okay.
None of them have fucking died.
Damn.
Obey the law. This is somewhere in Jersey. Now, this really pisses me off because my grandparents lived in Lakewood. I've been through Toms River to go to Seaside to see family numerous times. We've eaten in restaurants, not this piece of shit restaurant, but restaurants out there, and put our money and our time and enjoyed family moments in these places when they look at us and didn't give a fuck about us. I'm a child at the time. So now they ain't give a fuck about my children. Obey the law. Y'all got people out here with guns, American flags, going absolutely ape shit about gyms not being open. Although I agree with you, small businesses have the absolute right to be open. Absolute right. It's just bullshit that was going on in Jersey. But black people don't have the right to be judged and treated as human beings. This is what you say when you put this shit up. You need to be shut down. Yeah. Rivioli's Italian and Seafood, 781 Fisher Boulevard, Toms River, New Jersey. You can hit our publicist up if you have something to say. All I want to hear is an apology.
At this point, it's nothing else. But what do you think about that, Vic?
Like you said, it's just racism. It's fuck it. But I also think it's pure, blatant ignorance to what the fuck is going on.
Willful ignorance or wanting to be ignorant? Or
I feel like they put it in neon lights. It's in neon lights. You can see it. You can see that from fucking a mile away. They want to be known. They want this to be seen. And by saying that, you don't care about anything that we have been fighting for a long time. And I think I saw a tweet like this from Will Smith. I believe it was Will Smith.
Right.
Racism never ended. It's just being filmed.
Yeah, that was Will Smith.
Yeah, it's just being filmed.
There you go.
And this is just one of those. This is just one of those things. They probably don't think they're being racist, right? They probably not. Yeah, they probably don't think they're being racist. But by agreeing with that brutality, right, and agreeing with that mentality that the cop had to do that,
definitely,
you're a part of the problem.
Yeah, fact,
and
100%.
And that's just I don't get it for real. Right. I really don't get it. Like something, I feel like something has to change, definitely. And I don't think violence begets violence in my eyes. The way to change our situation is with money.
Interviews at hip hop.